Hi, I'm Frank Marino, and this is Jake Out Loud.
I mean, this is kind of like I said at the beginning, it's a second wave of the DVD, to get some exposure to it. When it comes to getting it out there, you're doing it all yourself as far as you don't have an intermediary selling this for you. You're doing it all yourself. Like you don't have a label helping
no
distribution.
Well, the only thing I have is the DVDs are kept at a separate place, and that it's a shipper.
Okay.
So
right.
they do the shipping.
The shipping itself.
And I have to actually do that because some of the songs are not mine.
Right.
The publishing rights. So I do it through an independent shipper to be able to prove, okay, guys, like here's how much I owe you because here's how much I sold, and it's not me giving you that number. Here's the real number.
Oh, okay. That makes
So it's sort of, I don't want any problems with anybody these days. Everyone's so litigious.
No kidding.
So it took me listen. I was actually ready with the DVD a year and a half before it came out.
Yeah.
But it took me another year and a half to secure the rights to use some of my own material, which I didn't.
Your own,
yeah,
really?
Oh yeah, from my first 3 albums. I don't own the rights to them. I have to pay to use them. So every time someone's buying this DVD, I'm having to pay somebody for
your own songs.
for these songs. Yeah. And then there was the Hendrix material, and there was the Zombies material,
right?
And there's Crossroads and Robert Johnson. So I don't mind, I'll pay. It's whatever. That's like it kind of bugs me. It's my own tunes I have to pay for, but so I just want everything on the up and up. So
I want to, in reference to, I just was watching Bill Burr, comic, we both know and enjoy, and this is an interview he had, and he made a comedy CD.
Right.
And got approached by record labels. We want to own 100% of this. And he went through all the negotiations with them. And I love his quote. He says, "You're better off owning something 100% and only sell 20,000 copies than you are not to own any of it and sell 20 million.
No, he's
and not
right.
Get any money.
He's right, and actually, I mean, he's using the extreme to not own anything and sell 1 million. Is obvious you won't get. But what usually happens is they don't make you have no part of it when they promise you the 1 million sales. They make you have a small enough part of it that you think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Nobody would say it is a good thing to do if they knew that they would get absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So what they do is the record labels make you think you'll get a percentage, and that the fact that they'll move 1 million copies, your percentage will make you rich. The problem is they then steal the percentage. So you do end up with nothing.
Yeah.
They just didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So, yes, it's true that you are better off doing it yourself, and you will move less units, but you'll make a little more money on each unit that you make. You won't make a whole lot more because you have expenses yourself that they had too.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to do it right, if you want to promote yourself, well, you got to buy that. You got to buy publicists, and you got to buy ads, and so really you are spending some of that money to sell some. But in the long run, at least you're controlling it.
Yeah.
You won't get super rich doing it yourself, but if you love your art and you love what you're doing, you should be able to continue your career that way.
Yeah.
To keep making music, to keep having a following, and they'll support you. It's almost like a farmer who doesn't have a giant farm, but he's able to get his crops to market every year, and he eats with his family.
Yeah.
And people love him going.
Yeah.
Think of the Waltons or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's sort of what it is like. And there have been a few artists though that have just exploded doing it themselves.
Yeah.
I believe Lorena McKinnon she does that Celtic stuff.
That's right.
I believe her first album she did it that way and made a lot of money on it. So it can happen that your first thing can really work. I know that a guy like Joe Bonamassa, for instance, his family and people, they do everything in-house.
Yeah, Steve Vai as well.
Yeah, so they're going to make a little more money that way, but they still have to spend. You know, it's not like they have to spend nothing.
No, and they have to have either, like you said, someone family or because getting the distribution out there, getting it on social media is almost a full-time job.
Look, if the record companies really were, I know a few guys in the record business that are truly honest guys.
Yeah.
But they're never part of the big companies. So if the record companies really did it honestly, we'll do our part, you'll do your part, we'll pay you what we're supposed to, and we'll take our end.
Yeah.
It would be a good situation. You know, it would be.
Oh, absolutely.
The problem is it's not.
Yeah.
You know, a record label often has, I'll give you an example. A record label, even some of the medium-sized record labels, or certainly the smaller ones, they already have a publicist department.
Yeah, that's right.
And they have 50 acts or 30 acts, and that publicist department is told, this week do this band, this week do that band. They're not paying their publicists any differently at work depending on who they're working on. But because they're publicists, they're saying, we're going to give you publicity, and that's worth a whole lot of money. They're not actually spending that money. Because they're spending it anyway from all the acts, and they're getting the same people to do all the jobs.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're giving you 50 grand worth of publicity that comes out of their pocket. In fact, it doesn't.
No.
You know, it's really, they're charging you for something that they're doing anyway.
They're doing it. They get someone on salary
for
taking care of
themselves.
that.
Yeah,
That's right.
But they're
That's
making
right.
it an extra charge,
Yeah.
and that is a bit of a way that they say, you know, you now owe more than you did.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys go into a record deal thinking it's a really good thing. I can tell you that with probably, you know, one or two exceptions of smaller labels that are with honest guys running them, those are okay. But most of the time, it's crooks.
Yeah.
And it's crooks from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, like they know they're gonna
Exactly.
do that to you.
Do you have any of your songs on the streaming services, Apple Music, Spotify? Do you have any there?
Look, they tell me.
Would you use them?
They tell me that they are there.
Right.
Okay, but it's not something that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I know that Columbia has some of our tunes up there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Just in Time has some of the tunes up there. I don't mind that Just in Time does because I love Jimmy, and I think he is. Jim West at Just in Time, probably the most honest guy I ever met in the record business, because he is 100% honest.
Yeah.
And not just with me, with everybody. He's just a good guy. But most of the time, you got to really be careful. I don't like the idea of the streaming service because I know the kids like it. I know they love it. It's easy to hear the music.
Yeah.
But from a rip-off point of view, they're making 10 times the money that they were before when they were ripping you off, because they're not reporting properly.
No, and the CEO just blasted a couple of weeks ago about that.
Yeah, so you know,
you get 0.0067 of a cent.
Yeah. So they're all making out real good.
Yeah.
You know, like a guy got in touch with me just recently. He said, you know, with the pandemic, people are doing stuff from their house and blah blah blah, and I've got this great idea that, you know, I'll come over and do camera with you and split screen and we'll put on an hour and charge tickets and people will see you in your house playing the guitar and blah blah blah, and we'll split the profits. And I had to say, well, what do I need you for? You know, like,
I do that myself.
Yeah, I've got a camera, I've got a website, so this is very opportunistic.
Yeah,
it's wherever anything happens, financial opportunism creeps in, and it's usually creeps in by people who really shouldn't be getting anything.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't like that. On principle, I don't like that. I don't mind doing it with people if there's a principled reason why they should be involved.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, look, even at the record company level, the people that run the labels, the people that own the labels, the people that make the decisions at the labels, the people that do everything at the labels, oftentimes are people you wouldn't even want to know or sit down and have a cup of coffee with. They have nothing to do with your life. They have nothing to do with music. Sometimes they hate music. You know? It's just people who said, we can do something here because we have money.
Yeah.
They're like a bank. It's like if a bank came along and said to you, we want to be your partner and promote your record. Well, what do you know about records?
Yeah.
What, are you going to lend me money? It's basically, you're going to lend me money, take the money back at interest. This is exactly what record companies do.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that they have a publicity department means that they have the money to pay that department. But if you have that money, you can just hire independent publicity departments. You don't really need...
Back to doing it yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it depends how far you want to go and how much you're willing to risk. And if somebody really believes in their own thing, they're going to hire their own publicists, and they're going to spend the money they need to do it, because they spend it on their car and on their gas.
Oh yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So they're gonna do that, and I think they'll have a return.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of musicians figure, why should I take the chance on myself?
Yeah.
You know, let's sign with that record company. They're going to do everything for me.
Yeah.
But they don't. If they did, great, but they don't.
No.
They don't. They prop up a few artists which you can count on two hands.
Yeah, the ones at the top.
Yeah, and they prop that up as, look where you can be.
Yeah, but you're never going to get there.
It's like an infomercial.
Yeah.
You know, it's like showing you all these wonderful things you can do. You know, it's basically a musical version of Vegematic. You know, this will cut your food for you and do this for you and that for you, but it never actually does as good a job as if you take a knife and cut your own vegetables.
That's right.
So it's a sales pitch. It's Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah.
You know? P.T. Barnum, man, he made a lot of money on penny tickets, telling people it was the greatest show on earth.
And you tell them often enough.
And you tell them often enough, and people believe it. And what did he really have? Bearded ladies, a couple of flea circuses.
Yeah.
You know?
And a big elephant.
Yeah, and a big elephant.
Jake Lawrence for Jake Out Loud. Subscribe.